Friends, I welcome you back to session number 10. So you can say this is part B of session 10. So in this session now let's continue about exemptions under GST. I hope you have got the things till now. Now, just before the break we did educational services. Now let's go ahead and do the further part. Okay. Now which services we will do? We will do transportation of goods. Okay, so transportation of goods is quite interesting part. Let's do it. Go to transportation of goods part. Yes, see this. Services by way of transportation of goods by road. Getting it? Except services of GTA and courier agency. In short, GTA and that is goods transport agency services and courier agency services would be usually taxable. Do you agree with me? Yes, no? Yes. So services by way of transportation of goods, wonderful. And by inland waterways also would be exempt. Then services by transport by railway. Okay, now I have told you that which goods transported by railway are exempted. You know that. Okay, we have discussed it. We will now revise it via questions. And then transportation of goods exempt when transport by goods carriage. Even when transported by goods carriage, I mean GTA services, they will be exempt when, if you know, single consignment, for single consignment amount is less than or equal to 750, and for all consignments in a particular vehicle the value of that consignments is less than or equal to 1500 rupees. Are you able to recollect these points, friends? And then obviously we are going to see with example that which goods when transported by railway, okay, slash vessel will be exempt. That's what we will see. Okay, so check. Go to the question. Again, one of less likely thing to be asked, but let's do this. See this. Okay, question. Compute value of taxable supply and GST liability for transport of goods by rail. Transport of goods by railway, few items are exempted. Now we'll revise those items via this example. Which items are exempted? Okay, by Indian Railway within India, all sums are exclusive of taxes. Very good. Transport of postal mails and postal bags, mind you, this is taxable. There is no exemption for such things. Transport of household effects, this is also taxable. And then where many students get confused unnecessarily, transport of petroleum products. Now mind you, on petroleum products there is no GST, but what about transport of petroleum products? For that transportation service it is taxable, obviously, so tax it. Transport of relief material to flood affected areas, this is exempt. Transport of newspaper and magazines registered with Register of Newspapers, this is also exempt. Transport of milk, what happens with transport of milk? So check here, if you can, sorry, if you can see here, milk, correct? So agriculture produce milk, salt and food grain, organic manure, Okay, newspaper or magazines registered with registrar of newspapers, plus defense or military equipments and relief material meant for victims of natural or man-made disasters, calamities, accidents or mishaps. Okay, this is exempt when transported by railway. Agreed? So yes, this will be exempt. What about transport of tea? Transport of tea will become taxable. Very good. What about transport of sugar? Transport of sugar will also become taxable. Okay. Transport of alcoholic beverages. Again, students unnecessarily get confused here. Mind you, supply of alcoholic liquor for human consumption is kept out of GST, obviously you know. But service of transporting it is not taxable. So it has to be taxable, isn't it? So what is kept out of GST is sale of this alcoholic liquor. Service of transporting it will continue to be taxable. Please tax it. I hope all of you got the point. Yes, no? Okay. Transport of defense and military equipments is exempt. We have seen just now. Transport of organic manure is exempt. Baled cotton is not agricultural produce, so this has to be taxable. And of course, transport of other goods has to be taxable. So if you take total of all taxable items, you are going to get figure of 5197 lakhs. Mind you, 5197 lakhs. And GST on that is going to be 259.85 lakhs. Check. Very simple once you understand it. Agreed? Shall we go ahead? Shall we go to 6th question? Yes. See now. Calculate value of taxable supply of XYZ transport company engaged in business of transport of goods by road. So it is a GTA, Goods Transport Agency. Okay. Give reasons for taxability or exemption of each item. No freight is received from any of the specified category of consignor or consignee. Suitable assumptions may be made wherever required, and GST is at 5%. So total freight charges are 13,50,000. Freight charges received for transporting fruits. So basically, when GTA transports agricultural produce, it is exempt. So please exempt it. Got it? All of you? So basically 1350 includes such 125. So what will you do? From 13,50,000, you will minus 1,25,000. Perfect. Freight collected for transporting small consignment for persons who paid less than 750 for each consignment. You know that. This is also exempt. Paid less than rupees 750 for each consignment. Isn't it? And what about freight collected for transporting goods in small vehicles for persons who paid less than 1500 per trip? So this is what I was telling you, that this also gets exemption. So from 13,50,000, you minus 1,25,000, minus 75,000, and minus 1,50,000. 10 lakh rupees will be what? 10 lakh rupees will be your assessable value, and on that 10 lakh you charge GST. Got it, all of you? Yes, wonderful. Let's go ahead now. I would like to tell you about banking service. You know what happens in banking service. Okay. See, one very critical service of bank. I hope goods transportation is clear. Be very specific with goods transportation. Now, with respect to banking service, one very critical service of bank is exempted. That service of giving loan, giving advance, loan, money, where consideration is in the form of interest or discount. That service is exempt. Means main service of bank itself is exempt. Got the point? So extending loan, deposits, advances, in so far as the consideration is represented by way of interest or discount. Okay. But other than credit card, other than in case of credit card. So whenever you are talking about, loan from credit card company, then of course whatever interest they charge, on that interest there will be GST. Okay? If loan from bank is taken, then on the interest on that we are not talking about GST. But if loan from credit card is taken, on credit card you get loans. So on that loan, whatever interest is there, on that interest you can expect GST. Okay. And one very important point to be understood is, if a bank charges you processing fees for loan or bank charges, documentation charges, then that should be taxable. Wonderful, wonderful. And then we are discussing about one bank exchanging currency with another bank, or one bank exchanging foreign currency with authorized dealer, or one authorized dealer exchanging currency with another authorized dealer. That specifically is exempted. Okay. And by the way, when bank or authorized dealer will deal with general public, then will it be taxable or exempted? When bank or authorized dealer will deal with general public with respect to foreign currency, then of course it will be taxable. Yesterday we have seen its valuation also. In which rule we have seen its valuation? In rule 32 sub rule 3 we have seen its valuation. Do you remember valuation for that foreign exchange transaction? Yes. Basically when RBI reference rate is given, then obviously selling rate / buying rate and RBI reference rate, difference between that multiplied by number of units of currency exchanged, that is your valuation. But when RBI reference rate is not available, then you check, no Ketki, then don't go to slabs. I'm just talking about first method here. Then what you will do is, no, not less 1%. You're not getting my point. Listen carefully. Means majority of you have got my point. I am saying when RBI reference rate is not at all there, see, one currency, I mean against one ABC currency, rupees are involved. I'm not saying rupees are not involved. Rupees are involved, but RBI reference rate is not given. So now what you will do is check how many rupees are involved and take 1% of that, as most of you have told me correct answer. Okay. Now Priya is saying compare two figures, check which is less and take 1% of that. Now that is to be done when none of the Mathyavathan is also saying that, but let me tell you when it is done. It is done when none of the currency is rupees. Means against pound, see, SBI's customer is giving SBI pound and against that SBI is giving dollars. So none of the currency exchanged is rupees. Then what to do? Then check what is the RBI reference rate for dollars, RBI reference rate for pounds. Convert both in rupees. Take whichever is less, and of that take 1%. I hope you understood it. This is your method 1. If you don't want to go for this, then optionally you can go for that slabs. Okay, chalo. So just a quick revision in revision this was. Let's see the question based on bank service. Okay, 7th question. Please tell me that whether transaction of bank extending housing loan of 50 lakhs will be taxable. No, it will not be taxable. It's a transaction in money. It's not taxable. Bank received loan processing fees of 50,000. What about loan processing fees? That's surely going to be taxable. Wonderful, wonderful. And what about 6 lakhs as interest on loan? It should not be loan processing fees, but interest on loan. Interest on loan is exempt. Wonderful, wonderful. So remember these basic transactions. Will you be able to? Yes. Very good. Let's go to I know that anyways with logic also you can do this topic, but logic should be backed by these provisions. Okay, so somewhere our discussion you will be able to recollect in the exam. I'm quite sure about it. It happens. You just have to back yourself in tax paper that yes, I have done it and I'll be able to crack it, or whatever. I will give my best. That should be your approach. Don't think about the result and all. Okay, that's not your task. You just give your best. Every time give your best. See, performance by an artist. Okay, see, performance by an artist. What happens in performance by an artist? It's very important to understand. They can ask you a small 5 marks question or 3 marks question for this. Whenever you know artist is giving performance in folk or classical art forms of dance, music, theatre, then it is an exempt supply if that consideration which is charging is up to rupees 1.5 lakhs. Okay, but as soon as consideration exceeds 1.5 lakhs, then it is taxable. Okay, prima facie it seems simple. It is simple also, but there are some points to be understood here. What if the performance is in western dance form or in hip hop or in salsa? It is taxable irrespective of consideration. Don't check how much money is received. In that case it is taxable. Secondly, what if that artist is acting as brand ambassador? Then also it is taxable. Very good. And lastly, I want to ask you, then don't consider if it's a brand ambassador, don't check what's the consideration. It is taxable. Whole mode only changes. Okay. And what if it's a classical art form, consideration is 2 lakh rupees? Then how much will be taxable? Friends, then taxable will be entire 2 lakhs. Wonderful. Check. Nawab's question. Okay. What happens if he receives in performing classical dance and consideration is 98,000? It is exempt. Performing in television serial, always taxable. Don't check the consideration also. It's taxable. Services as brand ambassador, taxable. Even if it was 1 lakh, it would have been taxable. Coaching in recreation activities relating to arts. So basically friends, it is given Okay, in the earlier entry that any coaching in recreational activities is exempt. Who gives the coaching is immaterial. It can be individual, it can be trust, it could be anyone, that is exempt. Activities in sculpture making are taxable, and performing western dance, as we discussed, don't check the consideration, it is taxable. So please tell me what is your final figure of taxable supply, given that GST wherever required is charged separately. GST is charged separately. What's the value? Is it 18 lakh 80,000? Check whether it is 18 lakh 80,000. Yes, and calculate GST on that. 3 lakh 38,400. I hope that you're picking up crux of every service. That's important. Pick up crux of every service. Yes, shall we go ahead? Very good. Let's go ahead now. जिन्होंने, those students who joined from 24th, that's the pure revision batch, 24th to 1st, and did not do the earlier 8 sessions of revision, pre-revision theory, session number 1 to 8, they are there on the app. I request all to do that. Okay, what all we covered in those first 8 sessions, you know. Okay, we covered advanced rulings in GST. What all we covered? Demand, assessments, audit. Okay, in fact, in short, all theory of GST, even including refunds, we covered in those earlier sessions. Please watch those 8 sessions. Watch, properly study them. That would be my request to you. Okay, chalo. Shall we go ahead? Yes. Next service we will do is rights to admission to event. You can go through. Yes, we can do this. I was talking about this question and this concept, Resident Welfare Association, RWA. You know, housing society I'm talking about. Housing society gives services to its members, and from members what does it take? It takes some maintenance amount. Yes or no? What are the services you think given by housing society? You know, those services are of providing security guard, common lighting facility, maintaining the amenities like swimming pool, gym, garden, whatever. Got it? The services given by Resident Welfare Association. Now government says that those services by RWA will be exempt where the amount is considerably within limits. Within limits means up to 7.5k, 7,500 per month per member. Friends, what if it exceeds 7,500? If it exceeds 7,500, then it is, mind you friends, fully taxable. Agreed? Yes, no? And what is 7,500? Per month per member. Agreed? Check. Resident Welfare Association of Blue Heaven Housing Society of Delhi provides you following information. Okay, which is for the month of November. Monthly subscription collected from member families. What is the amount of monthly subscription from each member family? Means each household 8,000. Check, it's 8,000. Given is 8,000. Will it be here exempted or taxable? It will be taxable. How much amount will be taxable? Answer is complete 8 lakh rupees. Did you understand? Not 8 lakh minus 7 lakh 50,000. Okay, not 8,000 minus 7,500. Complete 8 lakhs will be taxable. So friends, 7,500 is which limit? Threshold limit or exemption limit? 7,500 is a threshold limit. As soon as it exceeds 7,500, entire amount becomes taxable. Agreed? Shall we go ahead? Yes. Electricity charges levied by State Electricity Board on the members of RWA. So this is not at all expense of RWA. It is expense of members of RWA. It is not part of value of supply. Okay. It is just collected by RWA as pure agent and given to Electricity Board. It cannot form part of value. Yes, you can't say exempt exactly, but it cannot form part of value. Electricity charges levied by State Electricity Board on the RWA in respect of electricity consumed for common use of lifts and lights in the common area. What will happen with this? Bill was raised in name of RWA. RWA collected the same charges by apportioning them equally to the 100 families. Means over and above 8 lakh, this amount is collected. Means if I tell you that this batch fees pay me 1200 rupees plus studio charges 200. Indirectly, what is the fee? Indirectly, fee is 1400. So value of supply will be indirectly what? Not 1200 but 1400. That is something happening here. So as you included 200 in 1200 in current example, same way you will include 430 to 400 in 8 lakh. Agreed? Friends, yes, no? I can see 17 of you now live. Okay. Good. See, I should not give you recordings, then fun. Then it will be fun. Then everyone will be on the track. Come what may, they will attend. Okay. But it's quite a game of balancing, you know. If how to verify who needs actually and who does not need. So basically, just we cannot keep on verifying everyone's case. So it's given for all the recordings, but some people are taking undue advantage. Undue advantage means they have time now, but still they are not watching because they feel chalo recordings hai baad mein dekhenge, we'll see it afterwards. But no, that should not be the approach. Okay. Because I know that if you follow this revision batch, the results are tremendously fantastic. Okay, I have conducted these live face-to-face revision batches in Bangalore. I used to go to Bangalore, stay there for 6 days, not even 8, 6 days, conduct this batch, you know, for 5 to 6 hours a day, maybe sometimes 8 hours a day, deliver entire subject in 6 days, come back to Pune, and the results would be 80-90%. Means if 10 students attended the batch, 9 would clear. 30 attended, 25-26 would clear. That is a tremendous, you know, result and of this batch. But point is, you should attend. Now if you just take the recordings, and don't watch only, then what can I do? Okay, so with that full enthusiasm you should watch. Okay, clear friends what I am telling you? Okay, proceeds from sale of entry tickets to a musical performance. You know, entry tickets and entry to event is not taxable if the ticket value is up to rupees 500. check this. Is not more than rupees 500 per person, then it is exempt. Here so it is only 40 rupees. Sorry, 100 rupees. So it is not taxable. And other services to non-members, this is a type of business done by that society, so it will become, of course, taxable. Check, take the total and tell me what is final assessable value. Fun part here is, I have been telling you that check GST is included in the receipts of RWA. So whatever amounts you feel are taxable, they are supposed to be including GST. GST is not recovered separately. So that figure which you get will be equal to 118. That figure which you get will be equal to 118. So please calculate GST element and calculate value of taxable supply. Okay, 15,24,000 is equal to 118. So 18 is what? So 15,24,000 into 18 upon 118. Agreed? Yes. 12,91,864 is the assessable value, and you can say 2,32,536 is the GST element. Is it clear for all of you? Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Then friends, one service which may become important, and surely I would like to explain that service, is legal service. Okay, legal service, surely I would like to explain you, because what small complication is involved is, see this, legal service provided by arbitral tribunal, partnership firm of advocates, or individual as an advocate other than senior advocate by way of legal services, and senior advocates by way of legal services. Okay, this all, I mean, given to these all will be exempt. Given to whom all? Any person other than business entity. B means business entity. In short, personal. What could be personal? Personal could be family dispute, right? So no GST on that. If such services provided by partnership firm or individual, then to such a business entity who is a relatively small in volume. Relatively small in volume means their turnover in last year is such that they don't need registration under GST. Okay, and finally given to central government, state government, union territory, local authority, and so on. Government authority, government entity. These all will be exempt. Okay. Further, one important point that you should keep in mind is, legal services provided by partnership firm of advocates or individual as an advocate other than senior advocate to another advocate or partnership firm of advocates providing legal services will be exempt. Means suppose Ulka is a senior advocate and providing service, legal service, to another individual, it will become taxable because Ulka is a senior advocate. But if, say, Anand is other than senior advocate and he provides a service to another advocate, then it will be exempt. Got it? In short, outsourcing work within lawyers. Agreed? Outsourcing work within lawyers will be exempt if provided by other than senior advocate. Did you all understand? Quickly let me know in the chat window. Yes. One question is there. Please answer that Abhishek's question. It's a very nice question. Question number 8. This Abhishek is an advocate. Now you answer in all these 3 cases whether service given by him will be taxable or exempt. In 2 cases, friends. One case, this Abhishek is not a senior advocate. Second, Abhishek is senior advocate. Mind you, senior, not senior, does not depend on age. It depends on criteria in the Advocacy Act. So anyways, you are not expected to know that. Tell me, if he represents Mr. B in his divorce case and gets the fees, this is exempt because it is given to other than business entity. Agreed? So let senior advocate give it, or other than senior advocate give it, or firm give it. It is going to be exempt service. Wonderful. Logic to is simple, that end cost for the consumer should not go up. Already that person is in lot of trouble. Why to increase GST amount for him? Representing Mr. C, an architect by profession, in relation to his GST liability, and turnover of this scene last year was 25 lakhs. So service providers turnover in last year was 25 lakhs. So registration was needed for that service provider. Means turnover is exceeding 20 lakhs. Yes. So taxable. Agreed? Taxable. Why did I say yes? Because in both cases, let it be given by senior advocate or other than senior advocate. Agreed? I want to ask you one more thing. What if here the turnover of that architect was not 25 lakhs but only 18 lakhs? Then it will be exempt in both the cases. Wonderful. And lastly, legal consultancy given to Sunil and Associates, partnership firm of advocates, and turnover of this partnership firm of advocates is 28 lakhs in last year. What happens when it is given by, when this service is given by other than senior advocate? It is exempt. But when given by senior advocate, it will become taxable. Wonderful. It will become taxable. What I want to ask you is, what if turnover of this Sunil Associates was 15 lakhs in last year and not 28 lakhs? Then in both cases, my dear friends, it would have been exempted. Very good. I have given you detailed justification of that here, so you can go through that. I hope, my dear friends, it's very clear till this point, whatever we have discussed. Wonderful. Why not today you give me feedback about last 2 sessions on the group, so that other students who are not watching, yes, they will be encouraged to watch. Okay. Now I think second point's explanation you want. Okay, thank you for asking. Are we talking about this Mr. C and architect's point? You want clarification on that? Yes. Priya, if I am a service provider in GST, you will learn this, rather we'll revise this in 1-2 days. When do I need registration under GST? If I am a service provider, if my aggregate turnover in last year exceeds rather aggregate turnover in the year exceeds 20 lakhs. Wonderful, wonderful. So what's the turnover of this Mr. C in last year? Turnover of Mr. C in last year is 25 lakhs. Very good. So is his turnover such where registration is required in GST? Of course, Priya, yes. Hence, service given by advocate to him will not be exempt. Did you understand? Because only service of advocacy given to such business entities whose turnover is less, okay, less than that 20 lakhs slash 40 lakhs as required for registration, only that could be exempt. Agreed? Priya, did you get the point? Yes, no? Very good. Now friends, almost all things we have done which I wanted to from this topic. I want to ask you one question. Okay. Sportsman services you can do sportsman services, okay, given to any recognized sports body, that is exempt. Okay. I want to ask you specifically what happens if amount is received, means if service is given of coaching players, if service is given for coaching players in sports, if that service is given in individual capacity, remember it is taxable. Very good, Ketki. If that service is given in capacity of charitable trust, then it is exempt. Remember this point. Okay, please remember that point and go to the 12th question. Very obvious question. What if some services are given by individual as a commentator to some channel, it will become taxable. Yes. So only, yes, so services given as coach, sportsman, team manager, referee, umpire, all these are exempted. All these are exempted. Okay. Give yes, you have done that already. You can read it, it will be there somewhere. Okay, chalo, let's go ahead now. You are saying that guide us on 18th question. Okay, let me see what is 18th. Don't worry about that. Government services, don't worry about that. I have just put it there. May not become that critical. Okay, don't learn those things. Yes, fine. So other things clear to all of you? Very good. Once if you want, just go through government services, don't take much load of that. Okay. Great. So I think we have covered what I wanted to. Now please let's do question answers. As usual, question answers will be always cumulative. Yes, cumulative from first session, not ninth session, first session. Okay. So where penalty is involved and I want to demand GST, I will issue show cause notice under which section? 74. Very good. What is the time limit for issuing this notice under section 74? Time limit for issuing this notice under 74 is 6 months from, is at least 6 months prior to the date of adjudication order, and the date of adjudication order is, the adjudication order should be made within 5 years from the end of, from the due date of filing of annual return for the financial year to which tax not paid etc relates to. So yes, 4 years and 6 months. Very good, effectively. Okay friends, what is the usual percentage of interest on refund? Usual percentage of interest on refund is 6%. Yes. If price is not sole consideration, then I should do valuation according to which rule? 27. In 27, first clause or first point, what I should check? I should check open market value. Yes. If supply is done by principal to agent, I should go to which rule? I should go to rule number 29 and I should check open market value. Or what is the option to that open market value? Option to that, wonderful, is 90% of the sale price of such goods by the agent to the unrelated party. Wonderful, wonderful. If that also, if you cannot do anything in this clause A of rule 29, then you should go to rule number 30, 31 in that sequence. Very good. If any amount is recovered as a pure agent, what you should do with that amount? So amount recovered as pure agent should be excluded. Yes. Then friends, in case of healthcare services, if I talk about healthcare services, what will you say is taxable in this healthcare services? Taxable in this healthcare services is basically yes, plastic surgery and hair transplantation. Plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery. Yes, wonderful. If I talk about import of services, then import of services for consideration, import of service for consideration for personal use, is it exempt or is it taxable? It will be, yes, I am reading to your comments, yes, it will be taxable. Wonderful, wonderful. Section 7, subsection 1, clause B. Clause B, by the way, not C, clause B. Okay. If I am talking about importing a service from a related person, okay, and it is not in course of business and it is free of cost, will it be taxable or not taxable? Mind you friends, it will be not taxable. Okay, Sushma, I cannot say exempt, I have to say it is not taxable. Anand, not taxable. Ulka, not taxable. Because schedule 1 says that if import of services from related person without consideration, and if you want to tax it, then it should be in course or furtherance of business. Got it? Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. So that's what you have to analyze and understand properly. If I am charging to my customer, I am a construction company, charging to my customer some advance money, okay, and for booking a flat in a scheme which is under construction, then will it be taxable supply or not taxable? It is taxable. Very good, it is chargeable to GST. It is a supply of goods or supply of service? It is a supply of construction services. Wonderful, wonderful. So friends, I hope that we are on the right track. Kindly put up your feedback on the group so that other students are encouraged okay, to attend these sessions. Okay, so from my end, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow at usual timings. Thank you. Bye bye. Good night. Thank you. Good night. Take care.